Right, so we just do a countdown to wait for Gloria to join back because she's not here right now. So just the countdown. So we just do a countdown to wait for Gloria to join back because she's not here right now. So Gloria, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, Gloria, we can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Women in Business and Career. This is a series that's hosted by Jewels Network in collaboration with the American Corner, Victoria Island. Jewels Network is a community of resourceful women using their resourcefulness to enhance the lives of vulnerable women and girls. And we have numerous programs, interventions, and events to ensure we do this. Since 2017, we have worked with the American Corner in Victoria Island to bring enhancing programs for women in business and career. Today, we will be discussing the topic, selling big offline and online. And we will be having the amazing Joy Sani, a marketing expert and a serial entrepreneur to facilitate alongside myself. I am Gloria. If you're online, please introduce yourself and where you are joining us from. And if you catch the replay, you can still drop your comments and questions and we will respond to them. Right. Before I go on, I would like to just give a brief introduction or a brief background into what selling is, right? Or what sales is. Today, we know that sales is any activity that is related to selling or the number of goods that is sold in a given or targeted period of time. The delivery of a service for a cost is also considered sales. So the exchange of goods and services is what is known or considered as sales, right? Joy is going to walk us through what it means to sell big online and offline. Let me introduce Joy to you. Just a little bit about who Joy is. Joy Sani runs the Digital Market Woman. You can reach her at the Digital Market Woman on Instagram. She's an accomplished marketing professional with over 8 years of industry experience and a track record of remarkable success in offline and online marketing. As a captivating and dynamic speaker, Joy passionately shares her extensive knowledge and experience with audiences. With a very strong online presence, she connects with and provides valuable insights to a vibrant community of 40,000 plus individuals regularly. But guess what? That's really not all about Joy. Joy's expertise extends beyond marketing, and she has achieved incredible sales results, selling over 10,000 items across diverse industries, including fashion, food, computing, and even digital products. We're hearing from someone who is a master at sales and who is also an expert in marketing. So today, I'm very sure that you're going to be gaining a whole lot from her. I'd like to welcome Joy. Joy, it's really so good to have you here. Thank you for taking time to do this with us. We really appreciate you and we'd love to hear from you. Welcome.
Hi, Gloria. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to the Jewels Network community. I mean, I am a part of the community myself, so I was like saying thank you to my people. So let's just dive right in. I can't see the YouTube. I can't see the YouTube, so I'm just going to assume that the comments or questions will be relayed, by Gloria during the course of this. First of all, I just want to say that I am very excited to be here. One of the things that, please let me know if you can hear me clearly. I want to know that I'm projecting loud enough for you to hear me properly. Okay, awesome. Great. Okay, so I just want to say that I am passionate about selling. I don't know, I haven't really met people who love selling the way I love selling, right? I mean, I've met amazing salespeople, I've met divine marketers, you know, people that are top of the game, top of the market, but I haven't seen anyone who understands, like when I talk to them about sales. So I'm hoping I meet someone like that here today. When I talk to them about making sales, about meeting targets, the way I view it, the way it makes me feel, I haven't really met a person that shares that same experience as I do. I mean, I know that people love to sell. I know that people love to market, and not just because they're making money off of it, right? But I'm looking for people who, for me, it's almost like a calling. For the longest time, if you asked me, oh, what's your goal? What's your purpose? Why were you sent to Earth? I'll tell you that, oh, I was sent to help people, really. And one of the ways I discovered I could help was to help them with their marketing, with sales. And in fact, for many years, I actually did it for free. I would offer my services for free because I loved to do it, right? And that's how I built the muscles I have in marketing up to this point. So before I go into, I have been saying that I want to share from my own personal experience in the hopes that, I mean, I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't know the basics of marketing, who doesn't know the basics of making sales, who doesn't know the basics of building marketing strategy, right? So everybody who is here, who is in business, I want to assume they already have an idea or a pretty good idea of what this entails. So I will be sharing my own personal stories in the hopes that one or two things would inspire you to try something differently, or will inspire you to power through, to push through. Because actually, yes, as great as it is, as we talk, as wonderful as marketing sounds, it still takes a lot of grit, a lot of willpower, requires a lot of resilience, and I'll just dive right into it. So let's just start by defining marketing. In my own words, marketing is all about getting people to know, like, trust your product or service. So take note here, I'm defining marketing, not sales. Marketing is getting people to know, like, or trust your product or service. Marketing about using a various amount of channels to reach your audience. And it's about measuring the results that you get, and then, you know, fine-tuning it to see that, okay, this works, we're going with it, or it doesn't work, we have to discard it and change, you know, pivot. In short, marketing is about creating and delivering value for your customers. So you see, in all of this, I haven't yet mentioned sales, right? We're still talking about delivering value to your customers, reaching your customers with your message, tracking how it's getting to them, and tracking the success of the delivery, right? Okay. Some example of marketing activities that you have advertising campaigns, running social media ads, you have writing blog posts, creating product videos, teaching videos like we do now on Instagram, attending trade fairs, networking with potential customers. These are some examples of marketing activities we have. Let me just go through that again. Networking with potential customers, attending trade shows, creating product videos or training videos, social media content, running social media ads, writing blog posts, creating advertising campaigns, whether they are using traditional media, offline, or new media, which is social media. Okay, so before I go into real life examples, there's actually steps when you want to create a marketing strategy that would yield sales, successful marketing strategies. There are steps to follow. And I'm going to first take those steps if I now go into my own personal experiences. First is to set amazing, outstanding, mind-blowing goals. When I'm talking to a lot of people come to me, they tell me, oh, Joy, please let me know at any point if you can't hear me. I'm looking at the comments. Oh, Joy, I would like you to, you know, help my business. I want to make sales. I want to use Instagram to do this and that. And then I ask them, okay, so what's your target? That's always the question I ask. I don't even ask first, what are you selling? I always first ask, what are your targets? What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? You know, you're telling me you want to, you know, start using Instagram better to make sales, but that's very generic. That's very broad. What is your exact target? And many times people at this point, our conversation ends because if every time you come at me, I'm going to ask you again, so what are your goals? What are your goals? And they're not able to give me goals because they haven't defined those goals themselves. And because you haven't defined those goals yourself, it makes it very difficult for you to actually accomplish any success. So you hear people tell you, oh, I've been selling this product, I've been doing this service, I've been a hairdresser for so many years, I've done it and that, I haven't made 1 million naira from it. And why is this? One of the issues that people have is that they haven't actually defined goals. I'm not going to go deep dive into defining goals or anything now. That's something I'm sure you can do in your own time, right? But let's talk about the kind of goals you should define. Everybody knows this acronym SMART. It means that your goals should be specific, very specific. It means your goals should be measurable. So if your goal is specific, okay, I want to do A. For instance, let me use my fashion clothing business. So let's say I say, oh, I want to sell 100 tops in the month of January. That's a specific goal that is measurable. It means that, okay, at the end of January, I should be able to measure how many tops have I actually sold. Did I get to my specific goal of 100 tops? In fact, I am making more specific and say, I want to sell 100 surround year tops. And then at the end of January, I'm going to now measure, okay, was I able to sell 100 surround year tops? So you have goals that are specific, goals that are measurable, goals that are attainable. Another issue I have when people come to meet me and to pick my brains about making sales is that many times when they even say they have goals, their goals are not attainable. I ask, okay, you're telling me that you want to sell 100 tops, 100 of a specific kind of top that you have in your catalog. How many machines do you even have? This is actually marketing. So marketing has to do with everything that has to do with, even from the beginning of the product. What is this product? Okay, do you have, how many machines? You have 2 machines. Okay, do you have tops on ground already? No, you want to make those tops in January and sell them in January. Okay, how many tailors do you have? Do you have cutters separate from tailors? Do you have people who do finishing separate from tailors and cutters? Do you have people that will be ironing clothes? Do you have people that will be packaging? Do you have someone that is there just answering orders that are specific to surround you? These are questions that you have to ask. Is it even attainable? Can you deliver this thing that you're saying you want to do? So you have goals that have to be specific, then measurable, then attainable. And those goals also have to be relevant to your context, right? So you can't be choosing a goal that is not relevant to your context. Finally, in this place, you have to have goals that are time-bound. You need a goal that is time-bound. As I mentioned in the beginning, I said end of January, right? I said I want to sell 100 surround year tops at the end of January. I'm able to do this because I have 10 tailors on ground, I have 2 cutters, I have this number of people to iron and package, and I have 2 full-time people who are working in the social media, on my social media accounts, and they are responding to inquiries. That's their work. They're not there to post or anything. Their work is to respond to inquiries on surround year tops. So that's how I will sell 100. So that's that's a goal that is smart. So because this goal is smart, it means that this goal is attainable. Right? Okay, so we have talked about number 1, making goals. We're talking about the strategy, how to create your marketing strategy. So now we're not just talking about how to I'm not just talking about sales yet. We're still at the point where we're talking about how to create marketing strategy. And first of all, we said that you have to set goals. Secondly, you have to know your customer. This is so important. You have to know your customer. You have to dive deep into their heads and their hearts, so that you can understand your target audience, uncover their deepest desires and aspirations and their pain points. Because imagine that I walk up to somebody who has all the clothes they can wear. And in fact, they don't just have all the clothes they can wear, they also maybe have a boutique and they sell clothes. And then I go to them and I tell them, oh, Sadia, I know you're a fashion designer yourself, but I want to, conscript you and other fashion designers and make you create a WhatsApp group where I'll be marketing my outfits to you. Now, in this case, I'm thinking about, okay, people who are buying my clothes to wear them. And while this can work, we have makeup artists who use other makeup artists. We have MCs who invite other MCs to their events, right? So people can actually work together across carpet like that. However, that's not a smart way. It means you don't really have a customer base, or is your customer base like directly targeting tailors like yourself? If you know that that's not your real customer, these are not people who will necessarily consume your products, then you have to look for, okay, who are the people who I am solving their problem? How am I solving their problem? What is even the problem they have? Because if I don't even know their problem, how am I going to solve it? And if you're not solving somebody's problem and you're talking, it's just like you're wasting your time. As in, nobody's going to buy something from me, especially with our economic realities. Nobody's going to come and pay you for something, knowing that, they don't need it. Knowing that it's not answering any pain point for them. You see a lot of people, they start businesses. I have even been a victim. Let me not say victim. I have also done it. I've also made this mistake. When I start a business or a service, and I don't define my customer at the beginning. Instead, what I do is I just start it. Okay, I'm good at this thing. Okay, let me just start. And then I just start, and then I begin to target my family members and my friends. And that's one way. In fact, that's one of the strategies I personally use. However, that is not your actual ideal customer. You have to build a customer persona. What is the problem your customer is facing that you are trying to solve? In fact, in knowing your customer persona very, very well. I mean, you have to know your customer front, back, left, right. Who is your customer? Are they male, female? Are they 20, 30, 40 years old? Are they children? Are they parents? Are they working class people? Are they upwardly mobile? Are they here? Are they there? Where are they found? Do they go to church? Do they go to mosque? Do they do this and do they do that? Those are questions you have to be able to answer. If they ask you, oh, Abigail, who are your customers? You have to be able to say, oh, my customers are this, that. They are found here, here, here. This is what they need. And this is the problem I'm trying to solve. If you're not able to have that at the back of your mind, then you may be wasting your time. See, there's local. You can be lucky and you just have this idea, get this brainwave, or you are just good at this thing and you start doing it and just somehow people just start to patronize you. You can be lucky and have that going for you. However, you may not always be lucky. And that's why strategy comes into play. You have to actually be very, very, you have to, how will I put it now? I don't make it sound overly serious, but it's actually very serious. But you have to be clear about who your customer is. You have to know your customer, like if your customer is a person, right? So you know that your customer is actually a demographic, but you have to know your customer as a person. Who is this person that I'm trying to serve? And because you know this person you're trying to serve, by the time you start to craft content, by the time you start to try to market to them, you're going to do it in a way that it will be compelling. They're unable to resist you because you are hitting them where they need you. It's just like, with Jesus coming to save the world, he came to meet a pain point. And that's when an actual sinner, when they meet, they meet him, it's like, wow, this is what I've been looking for and I didn't know. That's the way you should be to your customers. If your customers, I mean, even if your product is as cheap as the clothes and the business I'm using as an example, 2K and tops. Even if your service product is as cheap as that, your customer must still see it as an answer to a problem. If they don't see it like, oh, wow, this is solving such a problem for me, they're not going to. Even if they buy from you, they won't come back. They won't take what they bought from you. They won't value it. There are people that will pay 5,000 naira for something, and 5,000 naira might seem like small money, but they're paying it and they're thinking, wow, I'm so lucky, to be able to get this thing solved at this amount of money for this value I'm getting. And there's some people that will still pay 5 million, and that 5 million they'll pay it, and it's like, I'm so lucky to be able to pay this 5 million. You get what I'm driving at? It is knowing your customer. So when you ask somebody, oh, who is your customer? You cannot say, oh, all the women in Abuja are my customers. No. All the women in Nigeria are my customers. No, that's very wrong. Who is your customer? For instance, now, I have a service I'm offering. I call it a remote readiness training, where I am trying to get, in fact, if you ask me my customers, I'll tell you straight up, the people I'm trying to reach are women with little children. I know that if you come to my Instagram, it may not look like that. It may not look like that's exactly what I'm targeting, but that is who my message is for. Women with children who need good sources of income, and who need to be able to work in a space where they're able to, easily reach their babies, reach their children. Okay, because I mean, for me personally, and this one came about as my own personal life experience, right? Me personally, I started work again, I think when my baby was around maybe 3 months old. That's when I kicked up. No, maybe not even up to 3 months, because 2 months plus, and I started work again, because that is, my personality. I'm not saying that's how everybody is. That's just my personality. And because I wanted to be able to do it, I didn't want to abandon her. I didn't want it to be like, oh, you left your baby to the hands of strangers so that you can go and hustle. No, that's not what I wanted to, create impact. I wanted to add value, no matter how little the value is. That is how I feel fulfilled. I want to be able to, reach my calling. That I wasn't put on earth for nothing. I was put on earth to achieve something, and I want to achieve it. And the only way to achieve it is by taking small steps every day, doing the things I need to do every day, showing up every day. And I did not want motherhood to take that away from me. So that was how I discovered this entirely, new industry. Well, I digress. Anyway, so I'm saying that if you're able to really define who your customer is, there is a way that by the time you begin to write for them, by the time you begin to create content to sell to them, by the time you begin to market to them, see, you may be in a room with 100 people, 5 people are your customers. Those 5 people will find you immediately they hear that message, because you know them and you have crafted this product specifically for them. Another good thing about knowing your customer is that it helps you to fine-tune your product. So you have a product, but this may not be the final stage of it. You think it's the final stage, you're ready to start selling it. But then when you begin to market, you realize that, okay, in defining my customer, I realized that my customer actually, this particular feature that I've put here is not necessary for my customer. Or for my customer to actually value this particular offering, I have to add this and this and these features. That's one thing I know your customer does for you. I'm so sorry that I'm dwelling so much on this, but this is a very important point. Unleash a multifaceted marketing arsenal. This is so important. I always do this. Unleash a multifaceted marketing arsenal. What am I trying to say in simple terms? I'm saying that do not market using just one channel. When you're selecting your channels, select multiple channels. Select multiple. So your channels, don't just say, okay, I'm a Facebook person, so I'm just going to, sell to my Facebook. I mean, there are people that are wildly successful. They'll tell you, I sold 10 million naira in the month of March using only Facebook, and that's very good. But the honest truth is that it's not everybody that is like that at the moment. So unleash multifaceted marketing arsenal. You want to be thinking of all the channels you're using. Are you using word of mouth? Are you using affiliate marketing? Are you using social media? Are you using traditional media? Are you using foot soldiers on the street? You have to just think about all the different things you can do. Are you doing content creation for this? Are you going to print banners and flyers? You have to have a multifaceted marketing strategy. And remember, if somebody tells you, oh, please, oh, my own business is I just want to be able to sell my akara every morning. I want to sell akara to 10 people every morning. That's great. It means you may not need a multifaceted marketing strategy. But these are for the women who say, okay, I am into the beauty business. I sell hair. I sell fascinators. And I want to sell 1 million fascinators in the year 2023 to 2024. That kind of audacious goals. Remember, at the beginning, I said when you're setting your goals, make your goals audacious, make them big, make them amazing. Something that when people, hear your goals, they're like, wow. You should be inspired by your goals. Your goals should cause you to push boundaries. Your goals should make you grow. Your goal shouldn't be, oh, okay, my goal is just very simple. I just want to be able to make some money on the side. I just want to be able to sell 5 dresses per month. Oh, except one dress is like 500K. I don't know why you're giving yourself that kind of small target. So your goal should be audacious. And if you have audacious goals, then it will make sense to you that you are going to unleash a multifaceted marketing strategy. So what are some of the strategies you can incorporate when you're looking at your multifaceted marketing strategy? You look at the captivating allure of social media, the persuasive force of content marketing, the precision of targeted advertising, tangible impact of experiential events. And I just want to, off the top of my head, give an example of an experiential event for people who sell actual products. One example would be the Niger Brand Chick Trade Fair. I just want to go back to my last point. Sorry, I wanted to give 2 examples here. In knowing your customer, there are 2 people I've seen that they know their customer in and out. When you come to their page, if you're their customer, you can't leave. If you're the customer and you see their flyer, you cannot go away because they have so studied their customer. They have discovered that, look, these are the exact pain points. These are the things that we need to help our customers solve. And because they have been able to, fine-tune those pain points, they're now saying that, okay, when you see their social media, when you see their traditional marketing, when they talk to you one-on-one, if you are their customer, you are automatically captivated, right? And one of those people is Eon Foods. EON Foods on Instagram. I want you to just go and check them out. It may not be something that is for you. I'm not marketing them. Please take note. I'm not marketing them. I'm saying you should look at them as an example of someone who has mastered they know their customer in and out. So their messaging is crafted for their customer. Another example is Jelio Simi. Jelio Simi, I'll probably drop it. I don't know, maybe I'll share it with the community on WhatsApp later on. Jelio Simi is a nanny service. So they have a crèche and they have a nanny service, but they have so found the pain points of their customers that, and it doesn't even matter whether you can afford it or not. Once you come in contact with them, because they are solving those pain points, the way they are solving it is, I've not seen any childcare service, in Abuja, in Lagos, that has shown that they really understand their customers' pain points the way these guys have. Amazing work that they are doing. Okay, yes, thank you, Sadia. She puts Eon Foods link in the comments. After you have, set your audacious goals, right? Number 1, you have defined who your customer is. you have defined your customer to the T, you know who they are, what they want, where they are, what their pain is, and how you can solve it. You have unleashed your multifaceted marketing strategy. The next step is flawless execution. I just want to state here that a lot of people are, when it comes to executing, they'll make all these great plans, they've done their research, they'll do what they call it, primary, secondary, tertiary data gathering, you know, they'll do everything they need to do, they'll cast their budget, they have written, in fact, they haven't created a content plan, they've done this, they've done that. But when it's now time for them to execute, that's when a lot of people fail. You know, if your strength fails you in the time of battle, then it means your strength is small. That's the honest truth. And nothing speaks to success as the attention to detail that I give it. So, for instance, if you say, let me use again Tuki and Carrot Tops as an example. You know, I said I was going to give stories at the end of the lecture part, but I find myself incorporating it. That's fine. Let's use Tuki and Carrot Tops as an example, for instance. So let's say I say, okay, I want to sell 100 tops this month. 100 of a specific kind of top this month. It means that I'm talking about selling. So I'm not saying 100 tops in general. I'm saying one particular kind of top. I want to sell 100 of it. It means that, okay, I'm probably wanting to meet 100 clients, right? So I want to sell to 100 clients. Take note, that's not meet 100 clients yet. No, it's sell to 100 clients. And then in crafting my multifaceted marketing strategy channels, I've written everything out. I have my spreadsheet. I have everything I'm doing. I have my vision board. I know exactly what it is I need to do. I know how many messages I need to send out per day. I know how many calls I need to make per day. I know how many messages I need to respond to per day. I know how many people I need to follow up to per day. So you know that those are things that you need to do in setting out your marketing strategy. I have all of those things listed out. And then it's 1st of January. And 1st of January, I'm like, oh God, I don't feel myself today. Or, oh, I posted yesterday on Instagram. I saw only 100 people saw it, even though I have 7,000 followers. That's very bad. I don't think I can post again today. I'm so discouraged. Okay, I'll try again next week. And then I'll go into the 2nd week of January. And I'm like, okay, I'm the 2nd week of January. Okay, you know what? I'll focus on content creation this week. You know, that attitude is not going to actually take you anywhere. Flawless execution, your attitude to work. This is work, right? Your attitude to work. How are you going to actually deliver on your promise to yourself? You have given yourself these audacious goals. You have done the planning, you have done the footwork, you have, you know that, okay, this is what I want to do. Yes, Essay, thank you so much. Procrastinating can actually ruin your execution strategy. I'm telling you that this is a big secret that a lot of people don't know. Many times, right? You want to start, but you're feeling like, oh, but things are not aligned properly. Okay, this is not working well. I just want to encourage you to go ahead and do what you need to do. There's some days that I would post and it's like, I'll make a post and I'll check and I'll see that, okay, only 2 people like this post. I'm like, why 2 people like this post? Now, like last week, 200 people liked, a post. I'll make a post and I'll put a call to action number, everything. And then at the end of the day, one person responds and I want to be discouraged and I'm like, oh, I can't continue. The truth of the matter is that, in fact, that's when you should be even gingered. As in, it may not be working out, right? You may feel like, okay, so if this is 1 week of January has gone, I've done everything I can, I haven't actually made up to 10 sales. How am I going to meet 100 sales at the end of the month? The honest truth is that you have to keep at it. You have to keep showing up. You have to also introduce excellence into everything you do. I know that you may think that, okay, my business is small, I don't have to. No, excellence, right? Excellence, very important, right? So from something as simple as, okay, I want to make a flyer to promote this product, from something as simple as that to a big event like, oh, I'm hosting a pop-up event. It's one of the marketing channels I'm doing. I'm creating a pop-up sales event for people to come and buy my things in Transcorp Hilton. From that flyer to that event, every single thing must be done with excellence. I know that we are human beings and there's always room for error, right? Be kind to yourself. But as much as you're kind to yourself, as much as you have to take care of your mental health, because being an entrepreneur, being a business owner is not for the faint-hearted at all. As much as you have to take care of that, you have to also put that pressure. If nobody will put it on you, put it on yourself. That, look, I have to show up properly. I have to come correct, right? I have to come correct. Which leads me to my next point. Right? Essay said something. Let me just quickly read what she said. She said, but imposter syndrome, minimal or zero activity when you finish taking your time on post or that doesn't turn sale. I understand Essay, but the truth of the matter is that even as much as it can be very discouraging, and me, I'm saying this thing from experience, when I first started, I'm using 2K Ankara Talks today, so let me talk about 2K Ankara Talks. When I first started 2K Ankara Talks, the truth was that for like the first 2 months, I was posting consistently. I posted so much, sometimes I have to go and delete posts so that the post will not be more than the followers. So I have to go and delete posts. I posted so frequently. I sent so many DMs. I sent so many messages to my friends, my family. That Facebook account, Instagram and Facebook, they held it in my hand. I was posting, I was showing up every day. I was showing up on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Google My Business. I was showing up every single day. I'll travel from Kaduna to Abuja and back to Kaduna. Sometimes I'll make that journey up to 4 or 5 times in a week. So I'll come to Abuja in the morning, report at work, do everything I need to do, go back, because our factory was here in Abuja and me, I was in Kaduna and I'm marketing. So there's no way I can, do it from a distance. And I'll come and go. And yes, actually, yes, a lot of seriousness and commitment is required. I mean, it's your business, but still, if you're not as serious and as committed as that, who else is going to be serious for you, right? Especially if you're going to hire and employ people to work for you. And do you know that I did this thing for like 2 months straight? I did not have one person saying, hello, Joy, or hello, 2K Ankara Talks, would like to buy anything. Nobody. It was so funny. We're making sales, but we're making sales from like, we used to go to this church. It wasn't our church. One of our partners was a member there, but we would go to this church every Sunday and sell out of our trunks of the car. We'll sell out of a car trunks. We'll go to, if we hear that, oh, they're doing sales here, 5K to enter, we'll pay 5K, let's go and join the pop-up sale event. We'll hear, oh, they're doing this. So we're actually selling offline, but online did not start manifesting. But when online started manifesting, when online actually started to yield, I'm talking of, we could not respond. I said, I would be on my phone from morning till night, responding to people, begging us, oh, please, I want to buy, please, is this not remaining? Oh, this particular top, I want it in this fabric. Oh, okay, I'll buy 5 tops. Can you just make an exception for me? All those kind of things. When it began to yield, we're like them that dream. That's the honest truth. So you have to put in the work. And take note, there's something, for me personally, for every business I have started, I haven't started it leveraging on just my personal brand. I've always begun the business brand by itself so that I can market properly. So you can imagine that I've had to start from ground zero more than 20 times. More than 20 times. For my own businesses, for my clients, I always start from ground zero. And I'm telling you that even as old as I am in this thing, it is still very discouraging. When I start something new and 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I haven't got any responses. It's like, hey, God, who sent you? Why? What are you doing? Do you know what you're doing? Are you sure you have your customer properly, profiled? Why are you not making sales yet? That's the question that we all face. But the honest truth, my dear sisters, is that you have to keep at it, right? Now, I think I was going to a next point, and that next point was that I was saying that your products in this marketing thing, we have talked about knowing your customer, but you see your product, you have to be completely confident in your product. So have complete confidence in your product. If you are not confident in your product yourself, how do you sell it to somebody? It will show in your marketing. When you are writing a caption, and I'm writing a caption, oh, this dress I want to sell, oh, is this and that, is that and this. People will know that, okay, this person is just, trying to bobo us, this person is trying to game us. So may not necessarily be trying to scam us, but this person said they're not even that, impressed by their own work. So why should I be impressed enough to come and purchase it? So you have to come with confidence in your product. So when I'm telling you about 2K Ankara Tops, I'm saying that our styles are innovative, cutting, and I'm not even actually joking about it. Our styles are innovative. We actually put a lot of work into coming up with the kind of styles we came up with. And take note, I'm just using one particular brand, right? I have so many other brands I can talk about. I'm just focusing on this one because it's easy to break it down. As in, I'm saying that, okay, our styles are styles that, first of all, they're very easy to wear. So for someone like me who loves Ankara, but who also doesn't like wearing difficult clothes, like, why would I wear clothes? I'll first zip, then I'll button, then I'll still lace it up. Oh God, no, please don't do that to me, right? That's a big problem for me. So I was able to sell that, the fact that it was so convenient. I was able to sell the fact that this is so beautiful. Our fabrics are eye-catching. Our fabrics, we don't joke. We go to the ends of the earth. We go to Kano, we go to Kaduna. We'll go as far as we need to go to get fabrics that, are not common, fabrics that are beautiful. As in, I don't think that there were any tops we made that our fabrics were not almost unique. And, our fabrics were the sort of fabrics that people will buy a top, not just because they needed the top, but because this fabric is so beautiful, I cannot resist it. So we knew what it was our customers wanted, and we made sure that we fine-tuned our product. We kept, I mean, for the first few months after we started, we kept on fine-tuning. Okay, let's make it less like this. Okay, people seem to prefer wraps. Okay, let's do more styles in wraps. Even if it doesn't look like a wrap, let's wearing it be wrapped so that a size 8 to 10 can wear the same thing. You know, things like that. So when you are able to make sure your products, yourself, and it will actually kill imposter syndrome. That's the truth. It will kill imposter syndrome. If you know your product in and out, you know that this product, the best quality that can be found at this price, you will sell it confidently, and that confidence will transmit to your customer. So because you're so confident in knowing your product and everything, it translates into your messaging, into the strategies you use, into the way you communicate. So when people listen to you talk about your product, they just want to buy in, they want to be a part of it. And finally, unleash continuous optimization. So this is not my finally yet, right? This is my finally 4 successful marketing strategies that will definitely lead to sales. Unleash continuous optimization. What does this mean? It means that after you have done all of this, and you have come up with your plan, you have a 5-page Google spreadsheet that has your strategy for selling, you cannot leave it there. You have to monitor. Every day, I'm obsessed with analytics. So it doesn't matter. I might be selling something very small, like, okay, I'm selling a bag, for instance. Okay, this bag is, okay, no, let's go back to Ski and Car Tops. Let's not leave there. So I'm selling tops. And let's say in the first month I sold tops on Instagram, I was able to sell 10 tops successfully. I am going to go over those numbers over and over again. Okay, how was I able to sell 10 tops? Could it have been more? Did I make any mistakes? Okay, why? How many people actually saw my post in general? How many people reached out? How many people out of people that reached out converted? You have to know those numbers back and forth. Very important. Your analytics are very important. No matter how small you think your business or service is, your analytics are important. It helps you to know that, okay, even if you're offering a service, for instance, your service is one-on-one, maybe each customer pays you 100K, 200K, and you're like, okay, I don't really need analytics. No, you still need analytics, because to inform your future decisions, it will help you know, okay, this is actually how I am supposed to, craft my content. When I talk like this, I'm able to get this kind of results that lead to higher number of sales. It helps you know that, okay, this is the kind of thing that my customers are looking for in terms of educational content. Okay, let me keep pushing out this kind of content. It will also let you know, okay, more people bought this than they bought this. More people bought at the beginning of the month than they bought at the end of the month. Or more people are buying this in the middle of the month than the beginning or the end of the month. Those numbers are very important in your marketing. It will also help you. Remember, we said what marketing was. We say it's creating and delivering value to your customer. And that one of the ways of doing this is monitoring to see what works and what doesn't work. So you want to keep going back. Okay, I made this plan. We're executing it. Okay, so I did this, and this. I did that, and that. What is working? What is not working? When I did this, what was the response? When I did that, what was the response? If you're able to have all of this down to a T, it helps you, because you are not a tree. Your strategy is not set in stone, right? Your strategy is set in stone, but it's also not set in stone. What I mean by this is this. Take the strategy you come up with seriously. When you come up with your strategy, you know this is what you're supposed to do per month, per week, per day. Do it, and do it religiously. You know what I mean? When I say religiously, I mean do it like, if I don't do it, it's like everything's going to crumble. I need to show up at 8 o'clock every day and post on Instagram. I need to engage from 8:30 to 9:30 on Instagram. I need to go to Facebook at 10 o'clock. I need to respond to DMs from this time to this time. I need to be on Google My Business from this time to this time. I need to respond to calls. So you have to be religious about it. You have to do it like, okay, if you don't do it, the world's going to fall apart. And I know the world will not fall apart, but do it with that kind of urgency and consciousness. On the other hand, when you're monitoring, and you have to monitor frequently, you can't just monitor like, oh, once in 3 months. No, a lot of things might have fallen through the gap. So monitor at least once a week. I'm saying that's like a standard, right? For me, I do it every day. I'm always on it. I'm looking. So as I said, I'm a bit obsessed with analytics. So I'm always looking, okay, yesterday, okay, this particular post was showed 500 people, but only 2 people sent a DM about it. Okay, why did they send a DM? How did I craft this message? Okay, well, how do you respond to them? What was this or that? I do it every day. I do it every day for every single thing I do. I do it every day. I monitor every single day. Unleash continuous optimization. However, as I said, I'm a bit obsessed, so don't do it every day. Do it like once a week, right? Depending on what you're selling. If it's not a fast-moving product, if it's something like, okay, you sell 100, 200, 300 items in a month, you can do once a week just to see how things are going. Now, when you do your monitoring and you check and you see that, okay, it's like I'm posting on Instagram, but I'm not getting any responses at all on Instagram, right? But I'm getting responses on Twitter, in the way I'm posting on Twitter. I'm getting responses on Facebook, or I'm getting responses on WhatsApp, but I'm not getting on Instagram. It will not help you look at it. Okay, maybe I said that on Instagram, I'll be posting around 8 o'clock and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. It now means that you will not look at your Instagram strategy and say, okay, I said I was going to post by 8 o'clock, but it's like people are not seeing it by 8 o'clock. So let's check what time are people actually online. My own was showing me 8 o'clock before, but let me go and see a broader average. Generally, people on Instagram, what time are they awake in the city that I'm, in the place I'm targeting, right? And then you go and look at it. When you look at that, it helps you to fine-tune your strategy. So even though your strategy is set in stone and you're executing religiously, flawlessly, you also want to give that room. That if you notice something that has to be changed, has to be removed, has to be added, you can do it. And you always have this mindset of flexibility. Because if you don't have that mindset of flexibility, it's very difficult for you. It's very difficult for you to achieve success. Thanks so much for listening. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comments. I'm still speaking. I still have a few. Yeah, I still have some time. I'm still speaking. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comments that you can hear me, in the chat box that you can hear me. I can't see YouTube, sorry. Let me know in the chat box. Okay, yes, awesome. Thank you, Sadia. Okay, so let's go to my secrets, right? Let's go to my secrets. So things that I, Joy Sani, I do. I know that a lot of people have strategies they use, but these are the strategies that I have personally used to sell thousands of products. I've sold in different spaces. I've sold in the food industry. I've sold in, let me say hospitality. So that has food, hotels, and all of that. I've sold, fashion and beauty. I've sold houses, apartments. I've sold electronics. I've sold a lot of things. I've sold services, so many kinds of services. I've sold event tickets. I've sold, in fact, maybe more than 10,000. So as of this 10,000 is from a couple of years ago when I sat down to do a breakdown of actual outputs that I had made in terms of sales, in my marketing and sales journey. Now, I mentioned this earlier in the call, right? I mentioned this earlier. I said that I always start from the scratch. I always start I don't say, okay, I already know this, I already know that. And no, I always start from scratch. What does it mean? It means that I always do my research. I always do my research. It doesn't matter what field I'm trying to enter. I always do my research. If I'm trying to start a restaurant business, I do my research. I'm entering fashion, I do my research. Beauty, I do my research. Whatever it is, tech, ebooks, anything is on sale, I do my research. Why am I doing my research? It's not that the research I've done before may not be relevant. It may be relevant. Places I've sold. So if I was selling food before, the data from food may be relevant for maybe people who want to get an ebook on healthy eating or something. That may be relevant, right? But that data may not be very relevant in terms of if I want to talk about fashion. That's one of the reasons why I always do research. Another reason I do research is that there's this thing it does in my heart. It gives me this fresh fire and hunger. So I feel like I'm about to conquer something, a territory. So I come at it like a challenge. I'm about to climb this mountain. And once I climb this mountain, I'll get to the top. I'm going to win. So that's the way I'm seeing it. That's the way I'm looking at it, right? So I'm not researching just because, okay, I don't know. I'm also researching because of the feeling it gives me. And it's difficult because, you're talking about making calls. You're talking about walking in the streets, going into the market places. And when I say marketplaces, I don't necessarily mean we'll say Agariki market. No, I mean the spaces where your customers are found, where that product is already being sold. If you have competition, I'm walking around all these places, whether virtually or in person, and gathering all this data. And sometimes data can even be misleading in the way you got because of the way you gathered it. So it can mean that I may have to repeat my work again, right? I may have to repeat my work again. However, it's very important. It's very important for you. It's very important for me anyways. As I said, I'm giving you my own secrets now. These are the things that I do that has made me successful in selling. If there's anything I beat my chest about, I beat my chest about selling. I say, oh God, I'm a master seller. When it comes to selling, so far as I put my mind to it, I'm going to sell. If I need to sell 1,000, I'm selling 1,000. If I need to sell 500, I'm selling 500. Whatever I need to sell, whatever I need to sell, when it comes to sales, I'm not afraid at all. But as I said, There are a lot of people are not like me. I actually love it. I enjoy it. I get a thrill. I get a rush from selling. I enjoy it. So that's why my name is the Digital Market Woman, because I'm all about selling. So, and I'm leveraging on digital market right now. So as I was saying, I said that I always start from scratch. It means that I start my research from the scratch in terms of looking for a team. You always need to have a team. Who told you that you're going to pull off a 10 million naira per month sales doing it by yourself? No, that's impossible. Sorry. If you're thinking of doing it by yourself, that's a joke. That's a joke. I'm sorry. Even if you need help as little as hiring a virtual assistant, even if you need help as little as collaborating with somebody to share like a delivery service so that you can do more efficient delivery, even if it means like hiring a consultant for a bit, a management consultant to help you with your journey, even if it means hiring an accountant to help you do your books, not hiring as a staff, there's some services that you can just pay for. You pay 20K here, pay 10K here, they'll do it for you. You can't do it alone. So starting from the scratch always, whether I'm getting my team members, getting partners to help me with that business, doing whatever, I always start from the scratch. It helps me. It gives me that sense of, okay, there's something in front, there's fight in front. I have something to accomplish and I'm going to accomplish it. I have a mountain to climb and I'll get to the top. So that helps. That helps, starting from the beginning. Another secret that I actually have is that when I start, I consciously discard shame. Is that something that people face when it's time to market their product or their service? People deal with shame a lot. People are shy. They feel like, I don't want to say this on Twitter. I'm cool on Twitter. If I go on Twitter and I say I'm selling pants and bra, people will laugh at me. That kind of thing. My enemies will laugh at me if they find out I'm doing this or I'm doing that. Get it? But every time I sell anything, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, what it is I'm selling. It doesn't matter how it is I'm selling. I always try to consciously means that at the beginning of the process, I have to tell myself, I cannot be ashamed, right? I cannot be ashamed. This is my livelihood. I'm trying to make money off of it. I am not ashamed. I'm also proud of it. It doesn't matter what it is I'm selling. I'm proud of that thing I'm selling. So because I'm proud of it and I know what the outcome is going to be at the end of the day, I'm able to remove shame. So people would say, oh, this girl, you don't have any this thing. How can you just be talking while we're here? How can you be trekking the streets? Are you selling in traffic? What's wrong with you? I discard every form of shame, right? My final secret is this, and this is a very, very important one. And this is very important. What was the first secret I said? I said I always start from the scratch. I always start from the scratch for every new thing I'm doing. So even if it's within an existing business, I want to introduce a new product or service, I start from the scratch. I begin from the beginning. Okay, where are my people? Define the product. I do everything from scratch for every single product or service. Sorry, I'm rushing. I'm trying to wrap up. I start from scratch. Secondly, I said I discard shame consciously. I remove it from my head. No shame. It doesn't matter. People will look at my status and so what, and so what? Yes, okay. I am who I am, as in the coolest person I know. So there's nothing you can say to me, right? I discard shame. Finally, what's the final secret I have? My final secret is that I am relentless. I become obsessed with that goal. There's nothing you can tell me. There's nothing you can do to dissuade me. I mean, I know that challenges come, and I'm saying this from experience. Things will happen to you. Things will happen. It's like, that's life. That's life for you, actually. Things will happen, but I'm relentless. My eye is on the goal. I know this is what I want to do. And it may look like I may take a breather. I may pause to breathe. I may pause to re-strategize. I may pause to, change my methods. But guess what? I am relentless. I go hard. And I don't stop. I may fail. Take notes. As I told you at the beginning that for like 2 months in these 2K Ankara Talks, we were marketing and posting everywhere and going everywhere and doing everything we could do. And I could not see any results in terms of selling online. But guess what? I showed up every single day. There's nothing you will tell me to discourage me, except I'm not interested. But if I'm interested in that thing, if that is my goal, if that is my target, then I follow it to the bitter end. I follow it. Failure is not an option for me because I don't fail until I give up. So I may fail multiple times. It may be that, okay, I told myself in January I'll sell 100 tops. I sold 3. I'll tell myself that February, okay, this 100 tops is attainable. I can do it. I have the resources are there. Okay, so what am I getting wrong? I'll go again in February. I failed. Okay, I sold 7 this time. Oh, great. I'll go again in March. Maybe in March I even sell 0. But guess what? I will keep at it. Many times you see me on social media, I'm happy about whatever it is I'm selling. You see me talking about it, we saw joy and happiness. People be thinking that maybe I've sold like 200 today, but actually I've not sold anything the whole month long. But it does not reduce my energy. It does not reduce my commitment. I come at it with all my might. Thank you so much, Jewels Network. Thanks so much, Gloria, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, Ikotu, for this opportunity. I'm going to be wrapping up now, and I'm opening the floor for questions. Gloria, I'll be in the chat waiting to read questions from you. Sorry, Gloria, you're not unmuted yet. You're still muted.
Who else has had an amazing time with Joy? My notepad is full. God, Joy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Come on. There's so many things I learned. I want to highlight them because they're really, really, really important. You started by saying that marketing is getting people to know, like, and trust your business. It's amazing. I took that down and I'm holding it firmly. I'm going to start pushing my business like crazy. You also talked about doing a deep dive and getting into the heads of your target audience so that you can understand their needs. I mean, that is something that I've heard before, but you really put it in such a simple way that it struck me, right? Thank you so much. I really like your secret, so I've noted down your secret. It's something that I'm going to be doing going forward. It's something I'm going to be doing. Joya said she starts from the scratch. I think that's very key because a lot of people are actually scared of starting from the scratch. Very many people are scared of starting from the scratch, and this is really key. It shows you that no matter where you are at every point in time in your sales business, you can go back to the drawing board and start again, reprofile your people, your target audience, and your market, right? So I thank you for that. Consciously discard shame. See, this one cannot be overemphasized. I know there's so many times where I've been really ashamed of like pushing my market and like I'm zeroing myself. So, just hearing this from you is so powerful because it makes me realize that I'm not the only one in this, in this phase, and there are a lot of people who also feel this way. So we need to consciously discard that. Again, you talked about relentlessness, and honestly, that's really key. Thank you so much, Joy. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'd just like to add a few things to what Joy has said, for our viewers, so that you can take back a lot of feedback from your this conversation and then impute in your business. We want to see you thrive. We want to see your business grow. We want to see you dominate the market as much as you can, right? So I really want to talk about some of the habits of a good sales person. You have to consider yourself as a business person. You need to consider yourself as a salesperson, right? So if you own a business, think of yourself as a salesperson. Think of yourself as someone who goes out there every day to sell something and give yourself a target, a yearly target, a monthly target, a weekly target, a daily target. Break it down like that so that you can measure whether or not you were able to match these goals. So I want to talk about the habits that we should have. First of all, is communication. As someone who owns and runs a business, right, whether that business is online or offline, you must learn how to communicate explicitly. You must learn how to explain what your product and your services does in a very convincing way. Joy talked about confidence in your products, right? Coming correct, coming confident. The truth is, if you're not confident in your product, then you won't be able to sell it well. You should be very proud of it, carry it on your head, but you should learn how to explain it simply in the most simple time. What are the benefits of your products? What do they do? So if, for instance, you make leather footwear, what is the benefit of someone coming to buy that leather footwear from you, right? Is it that it cures slipperiness? Some people's feet get very sweaty a lot, so they tend to slip when they wear some type of footwear, right? So does your product cure that slipperiness? Some people have underfoot pain, right? So learn to explain the product of the benefits of your product clearly, right? That's one thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is listening. As a product as a business owner, you must learn to listen carefully to what your customers need and what they want before you can make sales. Don't just bombard them with what you think is best for them. Hear them out, learn what challenges they have and they face at every point in time so that you can give them, the solution that actually meets their needs. The third thing I want to talk about is patience. You really need to take your time to be patient with people. I know it's hard sometimes, especially for those people who sell online. Sometimes people come into your DMs, they make inquiries, they go back, they don't say anything. But you need to learn to do follow-ups, and you need to learn to pace these follow-ups, right, to be able to maximize these sales. So you need to learn to be patient. To be able to close a deal, to sell one item, you need to learn how to be patient, to follow people up with empathy. This draws me back to empathy, right? You need to learn to follow people up with empathy. Understand that in as much as you think your product is maybe cheap or affordable, these people are also bringing out money from their pocket. Joy talked about someone who is spending 5,000 naira to buy a product. You may think that 5,000 naira is not so much money, but in truth, that person has worked out hard for that 5,000 naira. Right, and they are paying from their pocket, so you should be empathetic towards them. Take time to explain, how the product works, how it can be beneficial to them, the value of that 5,000 naira that they are spending. Right, so that brings me to my other point. You need to have initiative and you need to be enthusiastic. People can feel, even though people cannot see you physically, if you're selling online, people can feel when you're not enthusiastic, when you're talking to them and you're not enthusiastic. People can feel it, right? There's a body language that you carry, that your speech pattern, deeply fixed. So you need to be enthusiastic when you're messaging people, when you're talking to them, when you're making inquiries in DMs and all of that, right? And you need to be competitive with yourself. So what I mean by this is, it takes me back to setting your goals. So when you set your yearly goals, set your monthly goals, you set quarterly goals, then monthly goals, then weekly and daily goals. If you don't meet your target today, don't give up, don't be discouraged, stand up. You can meet your target tomorrow. In fact, you can meet your quarterly goal in a month. You may not have met it in January or February, but you may be able to meet it in March if you're competitive within yourself and you keep pushing, right? Also, networking. Joy talked about Joy's conversation was so interesting that I took note of everything, right? She talked about going to a church to sell. And that's also networking. Wherever you go, it ties back to being proud of your product. Don't be ashamed to speak of your product. Tell people what you do. Tell people about your services. Network. Make sure that every time you go out, you tell somebody what you do and who you are. You never can tell, even if they don't buy from you that day. They may run into somebody who needs something and they may just remember that they spoke to you, right, about your product and services. Then attention to detail. It is absolutely important that as a salesperson, as a business owner, that you pay attention to every detail of your product. So if you're a product person, make sure that you dot the I's and you cross your T's. Why? Because people want a lot of value now for whatever product or service they are paying for. So they're not going to buy trash, right? If you're somebody who deals with color and style, you want to know what color matches, somebody's skin type. If it's an Ankara coat you're making, you want to make sure that the thread of the clothing is properly tucked in. You want to make sure that the clothes is properly woven. If you're making a footwear, you want to make sure that it's properly filed and dyed. If you're selling books, you want to make sure that they are neatly packed. Attention to detail is really very important. Right, and confidence and adaptability. See, this thing about confidence can never be overemphasized. As a salesperson, as someone who sells goods and services, you need to be very passionate about your product, right? You need to come prepared. You need to put in your all. You need to be very confident and tell people what you do and how you do it. Now, there are 4 P's I would like to round up with, right? For you to thrive in selling, both offline and online, there are 4 P's I like to talk about. The first one is promptness. You must be quick to follow up on your inquiries, whether they are physical or they're online. You must be relentless. When someone comes to you in the DM and sends you a DM, don't wait 24 hours before you respond. Please don't wait, don't do that. Get someone to respond to your DMs if you are not available, right? And if peradventure, for some reason, you're not able to attend to your DMs immediately, make sure you apologize when you come online for the reason. Don't say too much stories, but just make sure that you're empathetic towards the person and you apologize for being late, right? Persistence is very important. Follow up always. See, you get a lot of rejections. That's the truth. When you sell products and services, you get quite a number of rejections, but it doesn't mean you give up. If you, for you to be able to sell 10 products, you must start with reaching out to at least 1,000 people. Out of that 1,000 people, maybe 500 will give you the chance to pitch to them. Out of 500, maybe 100 will say that they are interested. Out of that 100, just maybe 50 would actually have the money to buy right now, right? And then you also have competition in the market. But out of that 50, maybe only 20 will actually be able to pay you for that service or that goods that you want to give to them. So you must be persistent. Don't think that if you pitch to one person today, that one person will come out to buy for you. They may not be ready for that. Also, personalization. I find that especially in Nigerian markets, personalization is very key. People are beginning to enjoy personalization. How you respond from the moment you respond to them when they walk into your store. Oh, good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today? Sometimes down to the products that you're selling, right? People want something, a touch of them in that product. If it may be in the packaging, it may be in the style, it may be something that is personalized to them. So think about it. Profile your clients and look at your target market and see if there are people who would actually like a touch, a personalized touch to it. Lastly, I want you to always track your performance. Sometimes you may think that you're not doing well enough, but that's because you're not tracking. If you actually track your performance, you see, okay, how many clients was I able to reach out to in this month? How many of them, listen to me? How many of them did I pitch to? Who said no? Who said yes? The people that said no, why did they say no? The people that said yes and they bought, why did they say yes? So that you can go back and convert those people who say no, or you can do better with them. But overall, if you don't track your performance, then you may not be able to tell, what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. Right. So these are some of the tips I wanted to add to what Joy, our expert, has given to us. Honestly, it's been an amazing time and I've been blessed with this. We're going to pause now to take questions. If there are any, I see some questions. Okay. It says, how do we calculate the value of our products or services so we can charge right? Oh, amazing question. Amazing question. Thank you. So if you're a product or a service person, you have to make sure that you put everything. So I'm taking out my paper and my pen. For instance, let's start with products. Joy sells Ankara clothes, right? So let's take Ankara clothes as an example. You want to first note the cost of the material. You want to also note all of the cost of everything you have bought: the Ankara fabric, the thread, the buttons, the zipper. Don't leave anything out. Write out everything. Now put down the cost of, if you are sewing, I like to put the cost of the machines and the cost of labor, whether you are the one doing it yourself or whether you're paying someone else, to do the labor. So if you have a tailor, you put down the cost of what you pay that person. Now I also like to do overhead. Overhead sometimes is like rent, machines, big assets. So if you're using your house, for instance, and if some people just feel like, oh, I'm using my house now, there's no need to put rent. Put it for the future. So put it and say, okay, rent, divide it. Maybe my husband is paying, or you are paying rent of 400,000 naira. Divide that 400,000 naira by the number of months, that's 12 months. Whatever it gives you, take that 1 month and divide it by the number of products that you sell monthly, right? Whatever it gives you. So let's just put 100 naira for rent, just as an example, right? Put that there. Put your packaging cost per. So maybe you do paper bag for 400 naira, you do label for 100 naira. Put all those costs there. Calculate it, what it will give you, and then divide it by the number of products that you usually sell in a month. When you do that, then you add your margin, your profit margin. So you want to put 50% margin, you want to put 20% margin, you want to put 10% margin, whatever rate of margin, just make sure you put it there. Then you sum it up together. Please, at every point in time, don't just say, oh, I bought material and 500 naira, I'm paying tailor 1,000, so 1,500, then I want to do profit 1,000 naira and put it and say, no, you run at a loss. Make sure that at every point in time, you put in your overhead cost. That is your rent, your all of the assets, your machines, sewing, weaving machine, thread, everything. Put it there, and then also put in the margin, the profit margin, and add it up together. You'll be able to get a very good cost for, you'll be able to calculate how much the value of the product should be, right? How do I build the strength to face selling online? It is scary. Okay. Joy, I will take this part, but I also want you to come up and share your experience with selling online. So selling online is tedious, and to build strength, for me, I like to have a target. I like to put something. So I like to think about my best life, right? I like to think about my rich life. I like to call it like that. So my rich life may be, oh, I want to be able to go on vacations. But you can't go on vacation if I don't have money. And I can't have money if I don't work, that's have a career, or I don't sell. And if I'm a business person, it means that my business is my career. So I must hit my target, make a certain number of profits to be able to live my rich life or my dream life. That's how I think about it for me. So that puts away, that gives me more confidence to go online every day. And I also look at mentors, right? I have mentors who I look up to. Like, these people are doing it. They don't have two heads. I can do it. I can also push. I can start small, but after a while, I get more confidence in doing this thing. And trust me, especially selling online, when you begin to see the money alone that comes in, it gives you confidence to go through. So I'll let Joy speak now about this.
Okay, so I think for me, one of the things that I use to build confidence when I'm posting, because I think it's the posting that is the issue, right? As in putting out content, you're afraid, will people accept what I'm selling? Are people actually seeing what I'm putting out there? Is that, for instance, I'll tell myself when I'm starting a new page, for instance, to maybe promote a business, I'll tell myself that, okay, if I were to have 50 people standing in front of me, actually, like 50 actual real human beings standing in front of me, I'm going to feel like I have a lot of people in my space. I'll feel like, oh God, I have so many people to market to, I don't even have the time to complete marketing to them in one day. So that's where I actually reason it. So that when I come online and I start and I see that I've gotten 2 followers today, 1 follower tomorrow, I'm not discouraged. I don't feel like, oh, this business is not moving. Rather, I feel like, okay, these are actual human beings that are interested in what I'm selling. So I have people to market to, I have people to sell to. It's just that, it's not the wild audience that other people have. Mine is now in a position where I can do one-on-one. So I look at the benefits in that. Another thing I do is that I also tell myself that, I'm a human being, and so is everybody else on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever I am. Everybody is a human being. And everybody, is looking at themselves and thinking, oh, I'm not perfect. But I want to just give myself that confidence that, look, because I'm a human being and I'm talking to other human beings, it can't be all that bad. I may not be great at it right now, but I'm going to improve. And that's why I'm here. I'm not starting from a place of perfection. I'm starting from a place that will lead me to perfection. So it sort of reduces that imposter syndrome, that feeling like, oh, how can I face people on social media? How can I? So it answers all those questions. So first of all, as I said, if you have 50 people standing with you in real life, that's a lot of people. So if you have 100 followers on Instagram or 100 followers on Twitter, 100 friends on Facebook, you shouldn't think that you have a small audience. You actually have a big audience. Imagine if every single person buys from you. That's how I look at it. And secondly, to also know that, look, everybody here is a human being. It doesn't matter whether your branding is so great and you've gotten to a very, advanced point in life. Rather look at it like, okay, I'm a human being, they're human beings, everybody, we have where we are at the moment, and our journeys are, important and valuable for every single person. Okay, Gloria, back to you.
Yes, Joy, there's a question for you. It says, any other tips on how to conduct research for your business?
Okay, tips for how to conduct research for business. So in terms of research, I know we're talking about market research, to help us, with marketing. And with marketing, you also have products in marketing, right? So I think one of the first things you want to do is customer surveys and interviews. So where are your customers? So if I'm selling clothes, for instance, it means that there are probably pages. So if I want to do it online now, there are pages that are selling the kind of clothes I want to sell, or selling to the demographic of people I want to sell to. And those pages are already big. They have 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers. Why am I emphasizing this? It's because I want you to look at those pages not just as a competition, but actually as a place where your customers are gathered, right? It's just like how we were going to that church, because we knew there were a lot of people that were our customer type. They were upwardly mobile young women who were the people we were targeting, and they used to go to that church, and it was a good place for us to interact with them. And even in selling, you get feedback, right? But this one, do it deliberately, because you're conducting research. Conduct customer surveys and interviews. You can make a survey very simple using Google Forms, nothing too serious. Ask your friends to help you share. You can even say, okay, these are people I'm looking at moms of this age, this age of children. I want them to help me fill the survey. I want to take their thoughts on this and that. Another thing is competitor analysis. But in doing competitor analysis, I'm not saying go and start, because I have a client who used to tell me, Joy, I think, this one is doing so well. She's doing exceptionally well. She makes millions in sales every month. But she'll tell me, oh, Joy, every time I look at this particular woman, I'm like, hey, God, this thing she's doing. I'm like, she's like, if I say, what are you doing, ma? She'll say she's doing competitor analysis. That's not competitor analysis. You're just being envious. And it's so funny that you're envious of somebody who is not even as big as you. So you're afraid that, this person is trying to catch up with me. Why? Why don't you do proper? If you want to do an analysis, do a proper analysis. How do you do analysis of your competition? I'm not saying go and look at your competition and say, hey, Mogbe, they have 20,000 followers already on Facebook. How do I want to start? Rather, when you're doing your analysis, you want to look at positioning. How are they positioning themselves? How can I learn from them? Okay, they're positioning like this. Should I copy them, or should I come from another angle? That's one thing I love about Naija Brand Chick. See, there's something she does where she would just go out and look at what her competition is doing. And then she deconstructs it. So for instance, if her competition are teaching on so and so topic, she'll break down that topic and then come from the other end and teach it in that direction. So it's almost like, wow, this one, you're so innovative, you're so fresh, you're so brand new. But actually what she's doing reverse engineering. So every time she's reverse engineering what her competition is doing. Positioning. You want to look at pricing. That's another reason you should look at your competitors actually. Yes, you don't know their pockets, but you want to look, okay, if my competitors are selling this bottle of water 100 naira, who am I to come and say I want to sell it 200 naira? Why do I have the audacity to say I want to sell it 200 naira? This is what the competition is doing. If you now look at your pricing and it's looking like I cannot afford to sell it for 100 naira, then you now do a deep dive. This is where you now have to go in depth, conduct interviews, request one-on-one meetings with your competition. I'm telling you, in this kind of, if you're in a proper marketplace, it's not actually a problem. Finding out, okay, how are you able to, don't tell me your trade secrets, but how are you able to sell at this price? Because if you're not able to figure out how they're selling at that price, you may not have to reduce your quality, which is going to be a disadvantage for you. In researching your competitor, another thing you want to do is to look at the channels they are using. And again, it may be that you're looking at your channels. Oh, my competition are all on Instagram. It's Instagram that they sell on. You can now say, okay, my competition is on Instagram, but the truth is that the human beings that use Instagram are still the human beings that use Facebook, are still the human beings that use Twitter. So let me go and use Facebook and Twitter. Since I'll be the king there, let me come there and be a brand new face there in this thing. Another way to do market research is through market research reports and studies. But in this case now, you're not looking at, you're not just looking at this. This is where you do your Google search, go to the library and whatnot. But this one is very important. This particular one I want to mention is very important. Social media listening. How do you listen on social media? You want to go and see what people are saying about not just your brand, but also your industry. It helps you even know, am I even solving problems sufficiently enough, efficiently enough? And finally, focus groups. That's why you have friends. That's why you have families. That's why you go to church. That's why you go to school. Focus groups. Get groups of people who resemble your ideal customer. Get them in small groups, 5 people here, 10 people here, 20 people here, and feed them questions. Show them your product or service. Let them feed back to you. For a person who does service, one thing you can do, I offer a lot of free service to people. I offer it to them because I want them to tell me, okay, what can I do better and what not? in selling clothes, I will sell clothes, maybe offer free delivery or something, so that you can just buy and I can find out from you what can I improve with such and such. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you. If we keep listening to you, honestly, we won't leave here today. It's been an amazing time with Joy. I'm sure everyone agrees with me. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this session today. We've come to the end of this session. Fortunately, we wish we could go. We could keep going, but we can't because of time. We would like you to check us out, on our website, www.jewelsnetwork.org, right? Jewels, JEWELS, network.org. And on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Twitter, we are Jewels Network. So on all our social media pages, we are Jewels Network. If you like to partner with us, if you like what we do, and you want to support more women in career and business, you can check us out on all of those links above. Leave a comment on our platforms or in our DMs, right? We will be back again in July with another enhancing and exciting edition of Women in Business and Career. We love you. Thank you so much for staying with us. Have an amazing weekend ahead. Bye.